Good afternoon. This is Carolina from State Adventures. Thanks so much for connecting with me about your Christmas 2024 trip to the Galapagos. We work with about 30 boats in the islands, as well as beautiful hotels where we design island hopping using different day trips and ferries. And of course, all of South America, all the mainland of Ecuador. So there are really a lot of options we can work on for your trip. But to start, I reached out to all of our boats to see who has what available for next Christmas, because this Christmas is already super tight. And I received about 7 different options that have either a 3-night, a 4-night, a 6-night, or a 7-night itinerary available for 5 people. Now, I mentioned the 5 people because it is very rare to have triples in the Galapagos. So that kind of eliminated more than half of the boats that are cruising. So I only focused on the ones that would allow your family to share 2 cabins. So I'm going to start with one itinerary here to show you what it would look like, what the routing is like, all the logistics, the pricing, and we can discuss what works, what doesn't, and figure out an option that works. So I'm going to share my screen, and you'll be able to see a PDF that I'm also sending to your email so you can follow along. So this itinerary is based on going into Ecuador proper, into the mainland, and spending 3 nights there to see just a little bit of the Andes, and then heading out to the islands of Galapagos and spending 7 nights on a cruise. I have been working with the Galapagos for 18 years, and I know a lot of the boats, and I know which ones offer great value, which are family friendly. So the ones that I'm proposing to you have a lot of meaning behind them. So here it is. This is what it would look like. December 24th, you would fly to Ecuador. Do you want to leave earlier? You can, and we will add another day, maybe go to the cloud forest, maybe do something else. There's hot springs and things like that. But according to the cruise, it starts on the 27th. So I'm having you land on the 24th. My team will be there waiting for you, State Adventure sign with your name on it, and they'll take you to your hotel. I included the Plaza Grande Hotel. This is this historic building here in this picture. I love this hotel because they have really spacious rooms. They're right in the middle of the main square. So all the festivities, anything happening for Christmas or New Year's Eve, around those holidays, you'll be able to see it front and center from your windows and just stepping outside of your hotel room. So it makes a lot of difference because you're not in the modern part of town. You don't have to take taxis, and location is key. On the 25th, when you wake up in the morning and have breakfast at your hotel, then my team will come back for you and then show you the best of Quito. So what we do in Quito is kind of customize a day for your family. If there's ever kids involved, even teenagers, we usually do the chocolate experience where you do some tastings of chocolates. We go to the equator line, which is a lot of fun. There's some experiments that you can do there. We usually eat lunch at the Crater restaurant, which is at the really at the crater of a volcano with smoke spilling out of it. So that's a lot of fun. And of course, see the highlights. Go to the Panecillo, which is the beautiful overlook, so you can have great photos of the city and just kind of get a feel for Quito. Now, if you love museums, I have museums for you. If you love hiking, we can do some soft hiking today, doing a gondola to the top of Pichincha volcano and then hiking around there a little bit. So it is your day. It is private with your own guide, your own driver, your own car, and we will make sure we work around your interests and needs. The following day on December 26th, same thing. You have breakfast at the hotel, then we pick you up, and we're going to take you down the avenue of the volcano to show you life in the Andes outside of the city. So Cotopaxi is a national park, is an amazing volcano, but all around the volcano, there are villages, there are haciendas, which are like ranches, local ranches. So we will have a traditional Ecuadorian lunch here. We will ride horses. We can go hiking. We're really going to see lava from the volcano and maybe stop at a market. So this is just to give you an idea of life on the avenue of the volcanoes, which is a really fantastic part of Ecuador. I have taken my family to Ecuador 7 times. I really love it here. We explore a different part of the country every time we visit. And we love the Andean area here because there's a lot of adventure, there's a lot of fun things, and the culture is so beautiful and so welcoming. So now December 27th is coming around. That's day 4. We're going to take you to the airport and take your flight to the Galapagos. The Galapagos is a protected archipelago. It is not just another beach vacation. This is a very special, sacred place, like no other place in the world. There are animals here, only indigenous to these islands. And also they have no fear because there are not a lot of predators. We are the only predators. So because there's no predators, they don't have fear. So they're not running away or swimming away when you come close to them. And that's what makes Galapagos very special. I chose to show you a 7-night itinerary. The reason for that is probably the only time you're going to go to the Galapagos. So let's see as much as we can. So if time and budgets allow, I suggest the 7-night itinerary, and it will allow you to take a whole circuit of the islands all around Isabela, even going to Fernandina. This is quite special and unusual to do that. Not every boat goes to the other side of Isabela. And then you will also have a lot of stops here. So the idea is the cruise will take care of all of the excursions for you. Now, to get there, you're going to need an ID card, an entry ticket. You're going to need to go to customs. You need to get your shoes checked. All of this gets really confusing at the airport. So I have a Galapagos assistant that is there for you, takes you through all the steps, makes it easy for you. We pre-check to the flights and have the boarding passes ready. So all of these things make a lot of difference to prevent stress on your trip. Once you land, it's about a 2.5-hour flight. Then the boat picks you up from the airport and the adventures begin. So while you're on the boat, all your food is included. You're always going to be eating on the boat, and then you're going to be getting off the boat at least twice. I chose to show you the Anaí catamaran. It's a 16-person catamaran. It means it has double hulls, so it's a very stable boat. You will see a lot of catamarans in the Galapagos because they are stable. They cut through the waves much easier, so they're moving faster. They're just made for the islands. It's really fantastic to cruise in such a small group, 16 people, and they will be full for sure. It sells out every year over the holidays. So it's 8 rooms. And so if you're looking on this boat, on top here, you see these 4 windows on each side, 4 here and 4 here. Those are the 2 suites. And that is what I have on hold for you. 2 suites so that you could be directly across from each other. And you have the largest rooms in the whole boat. All the other boats are down here. All the other rooms are down here, my apologies. So this is a picture of one of the suites. So of course, for the parents, it'll just be a king bed and a sofa bed. And for the kids, there will be a king bed and a sofa bed that's set up as a 3rd bed. So 2 kids will share, but the space is very nice on these suites, very bright. You have your own private bathrooms. And of course, the privacy of having just the 2 rooms on top. I love traveling this way. This is made for families. Just some photos from all the other decks. There's a jacuzzi to relax after the excursions. There's an indoor TV room. There's an outdoor solarium. There's a place where we eat outside. There's a place where we eat inside. So it's a very spacious boat for 16 people plus the crew. And they do a really great job with their itinerary. So once you're on the boat, you're going to be getting off at least twice. You're going to be going on dry landings, wet landings. You're going to go swimming. You're going to go snorkeling. You can go kayaking. You're going to go to tortoise preservations. You're going to go to different animal colonies like sea lions and turtles and marine iguanas. There's a lot of things happening in the Galapagos. Every season is different because sometimes babies are born, sometimes the animals are mating. So there's always something happening. The guides in the Galapagos are fabulous. It is like a lifelong position, very coveted. So they are licensed and passionate and, really educated about life in the Galapagos. And every island is different. There'll be white sand, there'll be red sand, there'll be moonscapes just like this on Bartholomew. So it's a really great adventure. You will not be bored in the Galapagos. I always compare it to kind of like summer camp where there are excursions every day, but there's also downtime. Somebody might pull out a guitar and a crew starts singing. For New Year's Eve, they always throw a party. So it's a really nice time. And for December, there's a lot of families traveling. So there might even be other families on board with you. We will know that prior to departure, of course. So I really, truly think a 7-night itinerary is the best because you will have as much time as possible in the Galapagos. And then when the trip is over on day 11, January 3rd, we take you back to the airport, fly you back to the mainland, and from there you can fly home. So that is what that trip would look like. Of course, it is open to any changes possible. You can arrive earlier or stay later and add the Amazon jungle or the beach. You can tweak the Galapagos portion where instead of a 7-night cruise, maybe we can do a 4-night cruise and then go to one of the islands with a beach resort and spend some days just relaxing, kayaking, snorkeling on free time. So you let me know what works for your family, what usually sounds good for 3 teenagers to enjoy. This particular trip is about $86.99 per person. That includes your cruise and all your services, your flights, and all the Quito excursions. So there are different places on the price scale for the Galapagos. If we want to go with like a luxury boat, the price will be more. It will probably start at about $11,000 per person over the holidays. I want to mention that these are holiday prices, and sometimes it is less expensive if you go in November or January. So if you have a budget that you want to meet, let me know, because we can find something. Like I said, besides cruises, there are island hopping options, and I can show you that as well. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts. I look forward to chatting with you about your family plans, and happy travels.